There's a type of woman most men completely misunderstand. She isn't cold. She isn't playing games. She isn't trying to waste your time. In fact, the truth is much more complicated than that. She likes you. A lot. And that's exactly the problem. When her feelings start to grow fast and strong, something unexpected happens inside her. Instead of leaning in, she pulls back. Instead of showing warmth, she becomes distant. Instead of moving closer, she creates space. From the outside, it looks like she's losing interest. But on the inside, she's trying to control emotions that suddenly feel too big to handle. Imagine this. You have an amazing conversation. She's laughing, teasing you, asking questions, opening up about personal things. The connection feels easy and natural. There's chemistry. There's depth. You walk away thinking, that went really well. Then the next day, she's different. Her replies are shorter. She takes hours to text back. Maybe she disappears for a couple of days. You start wondering if you imagined the connection. You replay everything in your head. Did you say something wrong? Did you move too fast? Should you just back off? But here's what might really be happening. When she feels something strong, her brain doesn't just see excitement. It also sees risk. Strong feelings mean vulnerability. Vulnerability means the possibility of getting hurt. And if she's been hurt before, or if she's someone who values control, those emotions can feel overwhelming. So her mind switches into protection mode. It tells her, slow down. It tells her, don't get attached. It tells her, create space before this becomes dangerous. The stronger the connection feels, the more her fear wakes up. It's almost like her heart is pressing the gas pedal while her mind is slamming the brakes. That's why the pattern matters. Notice when she pulls away. The better it feels, the scarier it becomes. She needs distance to calm herself down. And here's the key detail most men miss: she usually comes back. After a day. After 3 days. After a week. She circles back because the feelings didn't disappear. They were just temporarily suppressed. She tried to push them down, but they kept rising. Her body language often reveals even more than her words. When she's around you, she might seem slightly restless. She plays with her hair without realizing it. She adjusts her clothes. She shifts her weight from one foot to the other. She stands close, then suddenly steps back. She touches your arm while laughing, then folds her arms as if she needs protection. These small movements are signs of internal conflict. Part of her wants closeness. Another part is trying to stay safe. Watch her eyes, too. She may look at you when she thinks you're not paying attention. There's softness there. Curiosity. Maybe even longing. But when you catch her looking, she quickly looks away. That moment of being seen feels too exposed. Sometimes she'll touch her neck or collarbone while talking to you. That area is vulnerable and sensitive. It's an unconscious gesture that often appears when someone feels emotionally exposed. She may not even realize she's doing it, but her body is reacting to the tension of wanting you while also guarding herself. Then there's the topic of other women. She might ask casually, "Are you seeing anyone?" Or, "What's your type?" Or, "Did you do anything fun this weekend?" The tone sounds light. Almost careless. But pay attention to her face when you answer. If you mention another woman and there's even the smallest flicker in her expression, a pause, a tightened jaw, a forced smile, a quick change of subject, that's not indifference. That's jealousy she doesn't want to show. She's trying to measure the threat. She wants to know where she stands, but she doesn't want to reveal that she cares. But sometimes it's self-defense. If she acts like she doesn't care, she feels less exposed. If she creates emotional distance, she feels more in control. If she convinces herself that you're just another guy, then losing you won't hurt as much. The truth is, this reaction often has very little to do with you. It's about her history. Her fears. Her past experiences. Maybe she's been disappointed before. Maybe she gave her heart too quickly once and regretted it. Maybe she prides herself on being independent and doesn't like the feeling of needing someone. When you come along and make her feel something powerful, it shakes that stability. So she fights it. But feelings don't disappear just because someone tries to ignore them. They leak out in glances, in nervous laughter, in small jealous questions, in the way she always seems to return after pulling away. If you only look at the cold moments, you'll think she's not interested. If you only look at the mixed signals, you'll feel confused. But if you step back and watch the full pattern, the closeness, the retreat, the return, you start to see the internal struggle. She isn't confused about you. She's overwhelmed by how much she feels, and she's trying to manage it without losing control. Understanding that changes everything. Instead of reacting emotionally to every pullback, you begin to see the rhythm. Instead of assuming rejection, you recognize fear. And instead of walking away too quickly, you respond with calmness and patience. Because sometimes the woman who seems the hardest to read is simply the one who cares the most and is terrified of what that means. She's trying to figure out if it's safe to feel what she's feeling. She's also trying to see if there's competition. When a woman who is fighting her feelings asks about your love life, what she's really saying is, I care more than I want to admit. Now here's the part that sounds completely backwards. Sometimes, the more she likes you, the meaner she gets. Not abusive. Not cruel. But more teasing. More sarcasm. More playful insults. She might joke at your expense, act like she's not impressed, roll her eyes, or challenge what you say. Why does this happen? It's a defense mechanism. When someone feels something they're scared of, they sometimes show the opposite. Instead of showing affection, she shows attitude. It feels safer to joke and tease than to admit she's vulnerable. But watch closely. If you open up and share something real about yourself, her tone often changes. The teasing fades. The sarcasm softens. For a moment, the walls drop and you see her true, softer side. That shift is important. That's who she really is underneath the armor. Here's another big sign. She remembers everything. That small story you told weeks ago? She brings it up. The food you said you don't like? She remembers when you're ordering. The goal you mentioned? She asks how it's going. She's not trying to memorize details. When someone matters to us, our brain naturally holds onto information about them. Even if she's trying not to care, she's paying attention to everything. Another very clear sign, she's nervous around you in a way she isn't with other people. You've seen her confident and relaxed with friends. But with you, there's tension. She touches her face more. She adjusts her clothes. She seems very aware of how she's sitting or standing. That's not discomfort. That's attraction she's trying to control. If she mirrors your body language, leaning in when you lean in, but then suddenly catches herself and pulls back, that's her body wanting closeness while her mind tries to stay guarded. Now here's where most men make a mistake. They see these signs and either push too hard or give up completely. Both are wrong. But pushing is worse. If you demand clarity right now, ask her to define the relationship, or confess your feelings hoping she'll do the same, you might trigger her fear. She could shut down completely. When she's fighting her emotions, pressure makes her retreat. You can't force her to admit how she feels. You can't argue her into it. And you can't overwhelm her with attention hoping her walls will fall. But you also shouldn't disappear and hope she figures it out. If you vanish, she may convince herself it wasn't real and that she was right to stay guarded. So what should you do? Be steady. When she's hot and cold, you stay consistent. Don't copy her distance. Don't become clingy. Just stay calm, grounded, and reliable. Show her you're not going anywhere, but you're also not desperate. This helps her feel safe. It shows her that her fears may not be necessary. Give her space, but don't vanish. Don't crowd her with questions like "What are we?" or "Why are you acting like this?" Let her process at her own speed. pressure makes her resist more. But when you step back, come back with something positive. A funny story. Something interesting you saw. Something that reminded you of her. Let your presence add something good to her life. Over time, her brain connects you with good feelings. When you're around, she feels better. When you're gone, she notices. Also, be vulnerable first, but in a healthy way. Share something meaningful about your goals or something you're working through. Don't dump all your insecurities. Just show depth. When she sees that vulnerability isn't weakness, she'll slowly feel safer opening up too. And expect tests. She might pull back to see if you chase. She might act indifferent to see if you get needy. She might mention other guys to see if you get jealous. Pass these tests by staying calm. Not cold. Not distant. Just confident and secure. When she sees you don't need constant validation, something shifts. She starts wondering if she could lose you.